Kia ora. Welcome to Politics from Canterbury. There is no expense spared this week. I have spent $5 on a black and red tablecloth. We've got Oliver from the Taxpayers Union, and we're joined by Porky from the Taxpayers Union. The reason is I highlighted some ACT Party ads that had probably the Guinness Book of Records for the world's smallest parliamentary taxpayer-funded font. You've got something else you want to talk about today, Oliver. Not the ACT Party. We're talking about, what are we talking about today, mate?
We're going to be talking about the Greens today. So thanks to your highlighting earlier and some of the work we've been doing, we've been looking for some more egregious examples of parliamentary service funding being abused by the parties in order to promote themselves. For those who don't know, parliamentary service funding is supposed to be there for the parties and or MPs to run their offices, to communicate their policies, what they've been up to in Parliament, and perhaps to show that they're at public events and to come along. They're not supposed to be used for electioneering. I'll let you judge whether this is electioneering or not. So these are a series of adverts that the Greens had boosted via social media, Facebook in this instance, using parliamentary service funds. This very clearly says vote Green, which is a big no-no.
There could have been a mistake. I'm devil's advocate here, Oliver. Maybe when they said vote Green, what do you think they were meaning? Vote for the planet? No, I mean, it does look like the green font.
You try to play devil's advocate, but I think that's a fairly explicit instruction and encourages support for the political party.
I'll just push back one more time. What if it was sort of an ACT neoliberal candidate that mulched their garden? Is there some way there can have been a mistake with these ads?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we'll put it to...
It's fairly clear. I think it's fairly clear that they thought that this was a mistake as well. The ads were only up for a day, so they were pretty rapidly taken down and then re-uploaded as paid for by the Green Party of Aotearoa. This is obviously a misuse of parliamentary service funds and should not have been put up. The Green Party presumably know the rules. They should know the rules, and they broke them. You should not be saying something as explicit as vote Green. And in this instance, it's actually local elections that they were campaigning for, which again, absolutely should not be what parliamentary funds are for.
Yeah, no, I was being a little bit facetious there. I do think there probably has been a remarkably silly breach. Possibly it was a mistake, I'm not sure. But let's just I wanted to actually discuss that broader issue of parliamentary parties sometimes are now involved in the local government. So these ads, there were Facebook ads, but do you have a rough idea how much money? Because I ran a campaign myself, and you have to basically, Facebook ads are quite useful. How much was the breach? About how much?
So in each of these instances, it wasn't a lot of money we're talking. So we're talking less than $100. I can't give a specific amount because of the way that the Facebook ad library shows you what's been spent. It gives you a range rather than a specific. So it'll only have been a few $100s, but for the thousands and thousands of people that this reached using taxpayer money, it's a pretty influential piece of advertising for what seems like not a lot of kickback, given that they used it in a poor way.
Well, the Green Party's Facebook has got over 100,000 Facebook likes. It's a reasonably significant campaigning tool. So I can see that maybe in a close election, this will be helpful to a candidate. And I guess I'd be a bit miffed if I was an independent candidate running against essentially a party machine that is, well, I'm not saying, I'm guessing probably breaking the rules, even if inadvertently. Could we talk a little?
Exactly. It's unfair. It's not particularly transparent, and it doesn't exactly inspire confidence or trust in the democratic process. If one party's got a massive advantage over any independent or another party that may not be in Parliament.
Just running with that, just briefly, and I know Porky's getting hot and is about to pass out. We don't want that to happen.
It's very warm in here. Yeah.
It is very warm in there. Could you tell us what happens with all these Facebook pages, like Labour's Facebook page, National's Facebook page, ACT, all the parties in Parliament? What happens during the election campaign? Do the Facebook pages go back to party headquarters? Are they run from Parliament? Does anyone know?
So during the regulated period, they shouldn't be run from Parliament. They will move out of Parliament. I think most of them during the usual parliamentary term are run by staffers in Parliament for the parties, that is. Whether that was the case here, I'm not entirely sure. One would have to ask.
Okay, well, that's an interesting issue. I'm sure, knowing my experience of Parliament and politics, that there's no way there'll be any breaches, that those Facebook pages will be just pushed straight back to the actual parties themselves, and there'll be no naughtiness happening, I'm sure. Not with us looking. The people will get, no way. The Taxpayers Union and politics from Canterbury are on it. We're not going to risk it. Thanks very much, Porky. Don't overheat. And thanks very much, Oliver. We'll see you around. By the way, if you've got any outrageous, egregious examples of what you think is misspent money, send it through to us. We do care.
Keep